Hello, my name's Christopher. I'm something of a movie fanatic.
Hi, my name is Patrick, and I have a very short attention span.
In Must Watch Movies, a new podcast from the Zero Science Podcast Network, I'm going to try to put some culture into Patrick's trash brain.
In each installment, Christopher will choose a critically acclaimed film for me and my guest to watch for the very first time.
I'll open up each episode with why I selected the film in question and what I hope Patrick and his guests will get out of it.
Meanwhile, my guest and I will attempt to give an objective take on a film that's been revered by many for years and years. So grab some popcorn and snuggle up on the couch while you listen to a Philistine stumble his way through some of the greatest works put to celluloid.
Coming in May, be sure to check out Must Watch Movies on the Zero Science Podcast Network, or wherever you download podcasts.
Ugh, damn it, I burned the popcorn.
This is Jukebox Zeroes. Welcome, everybody. I'm Lilz.
Hey, man. What's going on? Hey. Hey.
Hell are you?
Hey, have you seen my dad? You might have seen him. He came by a couple weeks ago. His name was, his name's like Officer Kissafache.
Officer Kissy Face?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I meant
you're his kid. Why are you calling him officer?
No, I mean like you know him as like Officer Kissy Face, man. No, I'm the son Timmy, and
Timmy Kissy Face.
No, it's pronounced the same way, man. Kissafache. Why you gotta be like that, man? Anyway, I was wondering if you saw him. I was out grocery shopping with him like last Tuesday, and I hadn't seen him since then, man. And I don't know, he seems to have a lot of questions for you, and he's hanging out with that Gene guy again. You seen him?
Not for a couple of weeks. And when we met him, he was kind of a jerk to us. So I honestly don't really care. I probably shouldn't say that to like someone's kid right in front of them.
No, he's an asshole, man. I know he's a bigoted piece of shit, and you know he has some real issues he's gonna like work through, man. And I mean like gotta like align his chakras and shit. I don't know. So you haven't seen him like last week or this time around or anything. Good. Okay.
No.
All right.
That guy Gene that you mentioned did pop in, and he said that he had smoothed things over, or whatever that means.
Yeah. He's a real smooth talker, man. A real Calvin Coolidge, ain't he? Yeah. So I know he's been blabbing on about him being a vampire and such, and like I'm like his vampire dad, so he's been like kind of involved in our like family operations for a while.
Hang on, say that again. You're whose vampire dad? Are you saying that you, his son, are his vampire dad? So your dad is your vampire son?
I'm Gene's vampire dad, man. Like what's so hard to understand about that?
You're right. Clearly, it's my fault. I should have connected the dots better.
Buddy. All right, Kimosabi, we're dealing with some dark magic, and we gotta
Kimosabi.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm really old. I'm older than Gene. This is
a very strange family.
You think that's strange? You should see us at Christmas. But yeah, I'll go. Anyway, man, just if you see my dad, just let him know that Timmy came around, and if you see Gene, let him know that like his dad came around, or however that works.
What a colorful menagerie of characters we've attracted to our podcast.
Oh, hey.
I wish Pat.
Sorry,
Here he is.
I'm exactly 13 minutes late as usual.
I was about to say I was really hoping Pat would show up so that he could but here he is.
I was busy. No, I was out on a journey, a mystical journey, out to the Metro West, Massachusetts, to pick up my good pal Aimee Hauthaway that I've known for like 8 bajillion years. Hey,
Aimee Hauthaway's here.
Hey, somebody's vampire son just came through here.
Yeah. I already heard the whole spiel from him.
I kicked him out. He was a bum.
Oh, thank you. I agree. He's a bit of a bum.
Yeah. They all are bums.
He smells a little bit like cheesecake.
Yeah, definitely. And not the good kind, like the supermarket kind.
No, the bad kind, like you get at Friendly's. So
does Friendly's have cheesecake?
No.
Only if you ask.
Oh, okay. Ask and answer.
It's like an Animal Fries secret menu thing.
Yeah, I'll have to try that if I ever find a Friendly's again, ever, because they're all dead.
They're not all dead. You just have to look. They're like salamanders. You got to look under
dead,
rocks.
Patrick.
The Norwood Friendly's is still alive.
Oh yeah, well that one will never die. That one gets so much business from the Norwood music department.
Anyway, welcome to season 4 of Jukebox Zeroes. We're stupid jerks now. A trench full of urine. I'm so mad at all 5 of my dads. Straight from the duck. Please, it's Dumpsterton. Tell us more about the history of clowns. That's girls. Give Santa some doom. Roadhouse. They took away my children, and now I have boxes. Bob Zombie, Harold Manson, and Ned Durst. My dear Uncle Stinky. I'm going to become Billy Ocean now.
I'm so happy for you.
Aren't you? Yeah, it's so many young children that we've brought into the world.
So many young children that came into being while I was reading all of those taglines from every episode we've done this season.
No, those
is Billy Ocean Caribbean Queen?
Caribbean Queen.
The same dream.
Yeah, that one. Get into my car and into my ocean.
Into my ocean.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's we've all those taglines are our little tiny ducklings that we're just releasing out into the street. But they across a crosswalk, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of poetic, Pat. You know, it's not poetic though. The apology section. Aimee just snapped to attention there for a second.
That part took me off guard.
Sorry about that. You got anything you want to apologize for, Pat?
No, not this time around.
Oh, come on.
This time around. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, let me take a quick peek back at my doings and transpirings over the past 3 weeks since the last episode came out. What was the last one we did?
It was on Billy Joel.
Oh, Billy Joel, right. God, it was so long ago. I've had such a journey with Billy Joel ever since that I've nearly forgot that I had to listen to River of Dreams. Anyway.
We're all very tired. I'll apologize for that.
Okay. I'll apologize for not including the Nylon Curtain in with my my list of Billy Joel albums that I love, because I recently did a re-listen and it's fucking great. And I sorry for that, for not mentioning that in my list of Billy Joel albums.
I mean, I think you can be absolved of that. You didn't know you liked it at the time.
I'm reaching for the apology stars for that one.
I'm just going to apologize for this episode in general, because it's real bad today. I know I make that joke every episode, but this is a bad one.
This is bad in different ways.
This is bad. You should write us letters. Write letters to Congress.
Yeah.
No, we've done bad. This is just
wrong.
It's wrong, and it's also just pointless and futile.
And it's going to make you want to write to your representative. Just take a big piece of paper and just scrabble in just a really big letter G.
No,
Send
you're
that to Congress.
getting on your best Sunday suit, your best Tuesday shoes, because
Tuesday shoes.
Oh, you never combine Sunday suit with Tuesday shoes.
Oh, that's what they call a fashion faux pas.
Yeah,
That's my favorite lyric off of the Nylon Curtain. Don't combine that Sunday suit with your Tuesday shoes.
very Joel-esque lyric.
It kind of is.
Good God. Anyway, no, you're right. But yeah, you march down to the town hall and you give them the guff.
Oh, yes. That's what the G is for guff.
That's all I was getting at. I'm sorry, Evs. That's all I wanted to say.
Let's get this over with, because this, as I mentioned, this is going to be a bad one, and the sooner we blow through this, the sooner you'll be able to go back to your life of plenty. And that applies not just to you, the listener, but to us.
Yeah, you can go back to listening to
us, the participants.
The talkiners.
Yeah. Just fly right through this and get right into a better podcast. Listen to that Doughboys episode you've been meaning to check out.
Oh, Trapt. Oh, Trapt. What the heck happened with you? Formed in Los Gatos, California, and experiencing their greatest level of mainstream success during the nu metal boom of the late 90s and early aughts, and even after landing a major hit single, the inescapable Ya Dude butt rock anthem Headstrong, which peaked at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100, Trapt were still considered third string among their nu metal compatriots. And you know what? You guys should have been fine with that. There are a ton of similarly nothing nu metal acts that have carved their own niche out of going back to playing 500 capacity venues and campout festivals, and they still maintain a sizable cult fan base of similarly developmentally arrested angry man children. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same sweeping Billboard success you'd previously been accustomed to, and you might have to get a second job, but it'd be something, and the only thing you'd have to do is not turn into an object of ridicule. But sadly, thanks largely to an incomparably dense social media presence that really managed to ramp itself up during the pandemic, it simply was not meant to be. Trapt, at one point a semi-major footnote in a chapter on nu metal music, now finds himself a foot self-shooting sponge for the mockery and scorn at best. Banished from most major sects of the internet and remembered more for their lead singer's verbal antics more so than Headstrong. So you might be asking yourself, is it worth it to dedicate an entire episode of our podcast on rethinking, bad music to allow that same accord to a band like Trapt, who so thoroughly destroyed their reputation with it that their 2020 record Shadow Work only sold 600 copies in their first week? I don't know. But that's what we're doing here for some reason.
That's a lot of copies. Wow. 600.
That is shockingly low.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than 600 dudes in Monster Energy hats.
No. That's. I mean,
there's got to be more than 600 Kyles.
I mean, a couple of things could affect that.
There's got to be more than 600 tap-out bumper stickers.
At least 650.
Heck, even 651.
Or 652.
That's more than 600 people who can't read Shine Down. That's not the Trapt one by accident.
I think that I will start using a T in place of ED from now on in all my correspondence, because I think that they're onto a pretty legit shortcut.
Oh, I'm sure they're leading the charge right there.
They absolutely are. Did you know that Trapt is a palindrome? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, no. You tricked my brain for a second.
No,
backwards, I believe. To part.
To part. Till death do us to part.
I don't know.
Boy.
I think that was his intention, to make it a palindrome, and it didn't quite work out that way.
A for effort.
So before we start going into the tracks, I'm just going to say at the top, this is another one that I have no notes for. Not even for the other reasons. Like it's not like the talk show episode where I couldn't think of anything to say, and it's not like the having fun with Elvis on stage episode where there just wasn't anything that I could find. I literally just gave up
Well, lucky for us, they have a very large internet presence, so...
And I feel like, actually taking the effort to write, long, winding paragraphs of notes would have just, been detrimental to my mental health.
I think that was kind of my assessment as well with my review of this record, that it's not really worth it to comment too much on the music, because like they can clearly do whatever is good enough to, put to record, I guess.
Well, I mean, based on what we know about Trapt from just, their social media presence, like what else could there possibly, what other multitudes could there possibly be behind all that? That's like worth cataloging. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, like they might be giants before us. Let's get this over with.
All right.
Here's track number 1, titled "Make It Out Alive." Okay. So in the grand scheme of music history, I feel like I can categorically say that Trapt will best be remembered for 2 things and 2 things alone. The blink and you'll miss it mega success of Headstrong in the early aughts, and the way they just so thoroughly debased their reputation in recent years.
Yeah.
And like that's all the work of their front man and Proud Boy stan, Chris Taylor Brown, who from 2017 up to now, Trapt's social media presence was dedicated to everything from insisting institutional racism doesn't exist, to unprovoked online bullying, berating publications and writers who spoke ill of them, and this is just the shit cherry on top of a garbage sundae, joking about defending statutory rape.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
There was the high five comment, right?
Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, not to be confused with other piece of shit Chris Brown, domestic abuser, and other wonderful human being Christopher Garrett Brown.
Yeah, learning that the singer of Trapt is also named Chris Brown just made me feel so bad for our good friend CB.
Yeah, it's not fair.
He's got to share his name with 2 absolute pieces of trash.
He's a diamond in the rough.
He sure is. He's our sweet boy, and I shine him up every single morning virtually. I don't know. I have an effigy that I keep, but it's like a good one. What's
it made of?
Ham.
Pineapples.
They go well together. Yeah, that's a good combo.
I have seen it myself.
It's not. It's cottage cheese. Pink cottage cheese.
Oh, that's more disappointing.
But still pineapple.
It's what Christopher wanted.
I think we can all agree that is what Christopher wants.
I think it is too.
I don't know him very well, but I agree.
If listeners, if you take anything from this episode, the next time you find CB walking on the street, like just sort of motion to him, gun him down, not literally, just like wave at him, wait for him to put down his bite of horse sandwich and go, "Yes, I understand. Very much indeed." And then walk away. He'll know.
I mean, the dude is always on the street.
But like, if you wanted to be generous with classifying, the Trapt Chris Taylor Brown's behavior, I mean, although why would you want to be generous with it? I suppose you could mercifully call it anarchic. But like, for how vocal the guy was on social media, like he clearly at least thought he had some things to say. They were stupid and abysmal, but I mean, there was something. Now, like, imagine something so passionate, again, about being a shithead, so fired up, and so publicly indignant in a truly embarrassing way, and then to turn his album on and be greeted with something so bland and devoid of personality. Like the track we just heard.
Yeah, and that's as heavy as the record got.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're right, actually, because so this was the track that I thought we were going to be gearing up for a lot more sort of Nickelback light. And what we really ended up getting, spoiler, was sort of like Nickelback light. This was the one that, we got a little bit of like crunchy guitars. I think we even got like a doom, 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 bah, psh, yeah, da, 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 boo, boo. One of those things that they love doing.
It's Nickelback Ultra.
Yeah.
I mean, it legit sounds like it could be a Nickelback song. Like his voice even gets like very Chad Kroger-y in a lot of spaces.
He does Krog out.
Yes, he's Krogan all over the place. He's a straight up Kroger. He's positively Krogy.
The Krogier, as the French would call him.
Right.
Like a sommelier.
Yeah, it pairs the right Nickelback song for your experience.
Nickelback.
Generally, the first track off an album should really set a tone for the entirety of the record. And in this case, the tone it's setting is just, lowest common denominator post-grunge with no surprises.
Yeah, not one single. Oh, no, there was one surprise.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, maybe not in this track, but definitely in the album. Something that surprised me. But I'm sure we'll get there.
I'm good. I'm glad that you found something because I did not.
You didn't find one surprise?
I didn't find any surprises. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention.
I mean, this is not to say that there were no surprises whatsoever, but they really didn't feel like, enjoyable surprises. Mm-mm. Like you didn't feel any kind of a sense of accomplishment from discovering these things.
No. Nope.
No. And all I got out of this was, how old is this gentleman, this Chris Taylor Brown? He's got to be
old enough.
40s.
He's got to be in his 40s.
Yes,
I have the Wikipedia
of age, Amy. Jesus Christ.
Obviously this guy does not have a Wikipedia page because who gives a shit? But on the Trapt page, it says the members of Trapt met in middle school in the mid-90s and were in an early NoFX cover band called The Swingin' Utters. But the main point to drive away from that is they were in middle school in the mid-90s, so it stands to reason that he's probably in his mid to late 40s by this point.
I was going to say he's probably in his early mid 40s or something like that. So he's singing a song here about I really haven't been terribly privy to Trapt's trajectory since Headstrong, which was way back
why would you?
02, 01 or whatever, whenever that was. This is kind of the same idea. It's
just slightly less gung ho.
I guess
it does feel 20
older.
Years older.
It does feel 20 years older, but he's basically saying the same thing. You can't take me on. I'm a big boy.
Oh yeah, that was generally the theme of the record. Is that it was deflection and placing blame on other people.
Oh yes, there's plenty of that, which really just perfectly ties in just his whole persona as just a feckless gormhead.
He's a big thinky boy. He's thinking about the big things.
Oh yeah, big brain. Big old brain.
Wells, you should write an insult dictionary. Because you always have them. You always have them. They're so
colorful
and descriptive, and I love them.
I'm going to make it. Going to make it. Going to make it out alive. I'm going to make it. Going to make it. Going to make it out alive. Make it out alive. Make it out alive. Make it out alive.
Out of what? Your fucking shitty summer bar show in the middle of the COVID pandemic last summer? What?
Oh my God, I forgot about that too.
You guys saw those photos, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, encouraging that behavior because someone needed to die for Trapt.
I mean more specifically those photos that I think Consequence of Sound originally reported on them where the Trapt mosh pit consists of 3 people.
Oh no, I didn't see those.
And Chris Taylor Brown went on it was just there are more people. You just didn't take the picture good.
Oh, like Donald Trump.
like Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, yeah.
His fantasy daddy.
He wants his ochre poppy. Here's track number 2. This one titled I Want to Want What I Want.
I want to want what I want.
very Nickelback.
I want what I want.
Like,
What kind of a sentiment is that?
Let me want what I want. I don't want to have these needs.
I just want to be set free.
Or maybe he said knees.
Maybe he said knees.
The man is old enough to like, he should be getting his like second regular colonoscopy by now. Like he's, I bet he's at that point and be like, sir, we need you to, we need you to come in 3 weeks. The night before, just have no solid food. And no, I want to eat pizza pie. I want what I want.
I want what I want.
No,
not even like I want what I want. I want to want what I want. I want to have pizza pie.
But I don't.
You can, but don't.
You can want all you want.
Yeah, it's acting on it. That's what we're telling you not to do, sir.
It is like a very childish sentiment, though, isn't it? Like, and almost like he's putting the onus on someone else by saying, "I want to want what I want." But
yes, that doesn't stop either. It's funny you bring that up because that emerges as a theme throughout so many tracks moving forward.
It's basically a concept album.
That's a definite pattern that emerges. I mean, or at least threatens to emerge, that like at any point, if it seems like Chris Taylor Brown is starting to approach like insular or introspective or anything like that. No. None of that.
Like, there's no self-reflection.
It's always the hypothetical like person that he's singing at or shouting at.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think
that's how I picture Trapt performances are. They don't sing to people, they sing at people.
With a lot of saliva to make sure, and they tell them to keep their mouths open the whole time.
Also, saliva opened for them.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
There's a bill.
Saliva trapped.
Bonded to it, in chains I'm kept. Stormy winter, in the cold I'm left. No one breaking through to me just yet. I can look in your eyes. You feel the same yourself. This is like ninth grade poetry, right?
Although not the worst on this record.
It's not the worst, but like it's pretty lame. And I watched, so this was the track I decided. I threw it on Spotify, and then I listened to the first track and decided that I didn't want to give them like even any more like a whatever it is, 1/4 of a cent that you get from a stream from Spotify. So I took over to YouTube and decided to listen to the album from there.
I should have done that.
That's where I listened to it too.
I know it's going to fuck up my algorithm now.
Oh yeah, no, my algorithm's all fucked.
You should have listened to it on Pandora. They love Pandora.
I don't.
They do. Every time people bring up the fact that like their album sold so poorly, there's like, we got so many streams on Pandora. No one uses Pandora anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's by accident if they got a stream and someone
supermarkets use Pandora.
Oh, that's what it is.
Probably
so no
right.
Skip it. So this was the point that
I got so many streams on Rhapsody. I don't even know what that is.
I forgot about Rhapsody. It took me a second, but that is a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's up there. It's out there. So I went over to YouTube and there's a music video for this, and all the boys are.
Oh boy, I did not watch any of the music videos, so I'm very keen to know what you thought.
Same.
I mean, it's like pretty typical for like whatever genre this is, this sort of like sanitized post-grunge, new metal, but whatever the modern equivalent of it is. I guess that's what modern rock is now. So anyway, it's kind of typical of that aesthetic where it's like, very like, gritty but clean, high definition footage with like, the Nashville filter over it.
I have to assume they're doing something like just playing to an audience of no one in a warehouse or something like that.
Yeah, they're in
like so many of those, like so many of those aughts post-grunge music videos did.
And what do they call it when like the video is like a half beat off from the music, where it almost seems like the video isn't No, it's like an intentional effect where it almost seems like it's in slow motion, but it's not quite. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen that done before. Yeah, where I think they I have seen that done. Now this was like supposed to be like quality footage of this band performing in an aqueduct. They're all wearing white, and yeah, it's just Christopher's really is really
Christopher. That seems awfully familiar.
Is performing to us about what him wanting to want what he wants, and it's
performing to us what him want.
What it is the boy wants, and what the boy wants is ice cream.
What the boy wants.
I don't know, but yeah, they're all wearing white, and it's pretty stupid.
And what the boy wants is what the boy wants to want, wantonly.
There's a little guitar ostinato in this song. If I'm going to comment on the music or anything, that was like.
I mean, go ahead. We haven't yet.
It was like really stupid. It's just like I just picture the guitarist go. It's like kind of way back in the mix, so you don't notice it right away. But I heard it this time around. I'm just like, fuck off.
They were trying to hide it.
I mean, it's there for an effect, and like I think it might have been a producer's call or something to put it in because it's like mixed in the mix. But I know the guitar player was just like, "Yeah, I get to do some hammer-ons, bruh." Yeah.
I mean, if it was a producer's choice, then that was no better because this album was produced by Trapt themselves.
Oh, then that's totally what happened.
I had to look this up on Discogs because this album rightfully has no Wikipedia page, but that's what it says.
It doesn't?
No Wikipedia page.
Didn't this just come out last summer?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God, you're right. Why? Shame.
So they couldn't get like Roy Thomas Baker or Phil Ramone or...
They didn't have
Phil
one
Spector?
fan that wanted to detail this release? No?
They seem like
none of those 600 Kyles wanted to take on this task.
This is the one time that they couldn't get the services of Garth.
I'll mix your album, man.
You know Garth, right?
Yeah.
No. I like
friend.
the sound of. I like the cut of his jib.
I forget what else he's done, but he's definitely one of those go-to modern butt rock producers. I'm gonna look that up right now, actually.
Garth.
Garth.
No.
Garth Richardson, also known as Garth. GGGG Arth.
I think that's
and
how you
also
say
produced. Oh, he produced the Rage Against the Machine's first album. I didn't know that.
That's unusual.
But yeah, he's also produced stuff by From Autumn to Ashes, Atreyu, Mudvayne, Chevelle, 40 Below Summer, Danko Jones, Biffy Clyro.
Oh, Biffy Clyro. That's a nonsense word I haven't heard in a while.
So that's what
Clyro back in '06.
Biffy.
So that's what Garth is all about.
Nicely done.
Let's move on to track number.
I don't know. I just wanted to play.
Are you saying that there's a Garth? It's a sorry, I got a little cold. It's a Garth.
It's a Trapt.
It's Trapt.
It's a Trapt.
I'm trapped with Garth. Here's track number 3. Tell me how you really feel. You need to tell him how you feel because the onus is on you. You, the hypothetical person that Chris Taylor Brown is singing to, because you are the one who is emotionally distant. I'm not him.
He's above it all, yo. Getting all Phil Collinsy on us with this track.
Well, I was just going to say, like, to echo Patrick earlier, I'm not privy to the musical journey of Trapt since Headstrong, but what band was that we just listened to?
Right. That's not, that doesn't sound like a Monster Energy drink fart, like.
No, it almost reminded me of, like, oh my God, what's that? Shaggy, All American Rejects.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like it had that like kind of pop punk emo-y, like early 2000s.
Yeah, I can hear that, and I'm agreeing with you because I know he would hate that comparison.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Who would hate it?
Yeah, Chris Taylor Brown.
Oh, then fuck him.
No, he hates any comparison to anything because he is creating new original arts, okay? Not new metal. He's making real art music.
Yeah, he's a total patron of the orts.
I want to make it my life's mission to only do things that Chris Taylor Brown hates. So, comparing him to All American Rejects is just the start.
He hates a lot of things if you read his Twitter. So
I am doing that right now.
You can't read his Twitter. He's not on Twitter anymore or Facebook or.
Oh, I meant Wikipedia.
I mean,
What was the other one? Parlay. The
Parlor. You can read his tweets on Parfait.
Parfait.
It's funny. Like after it became clear that Trapt has been. Banished from all forms of social media. No more Twitter, no more Facebook, no more Instagram or any of that. Like, at some point, he came out with an interview with someone, I want to say like Loudwire or someone like that. And he was just sort of like, I'm doing like so much better now that I've like dropped off of social media. I've had some issues, but I'm doing so much better, except no, he's still on Parler, just delivering terrible shit and retweeting Dan Bongino.
I mean, everyone else is doing a lot better since he left social media.
That is true. Maybe not so much the people on Parler, but they're on Parler. They're a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. They're where they need to be.
So, like, I didn't get a chance to really dig into. Well, you can't really see his Twitter account anymore, but like, how long has he been active doing this sort of like Proud Boy shit, I guess? Like, when did he start doing that? It was after Trump was president, right? Like, it was after 2017.
Yeah, like on the social media use section of Trapt's Wikipedia page, oh yes, yeah. It has its own section.
I love that. That's a subheading.
Like it mentions incidents as far back as like 2015 of him, like making fun of the Kardashians and throwing homophobic insults at Rob Scallon. Rob Scallon, who we were just talking about like a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah, who I have no problem with, but that other guy, Nostalgia Critic guy, can eat my shit.
Oh, that dude can go to hell. But who is Rob Scallon?
Rob Scallon is like an internet-based multi-instrumentalist who unfortunately worked with the Nostalgia Critic on a very bad album.
Was it The Wall?
Oh, yes.
The Wall album?
The big old stinky.
That's a bad one. I just watched the Needle Drop review of that again yesterday.
Oh, boy. Here we go. In 2017, Brown insulted commenters who disagreed with his defense of President Trump's dismissal of James Comey, and then again later in the year with anyone who disagreed with Brown's stance that institutional racism does not exist.
Yep. Here we go.
And then, it just really picked up from there.
I love how a white person thinks that they can say that definitively.
Well, of course. Question mark. Being sarcastic, of course. Please don't take that any other way. No, this dude strikes me as someone who, like, hasn't really. I mean, it's clear that he hasn't really been like active on the internet very much recently until like Trump started like popularizing like or just bringing more light to all this like sort of. Oh, we're getting way too PC and like we blah 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 and. make America great again, blah, blah, blah. So it just kind of like smacks of this guy who's like just been inexperienced. And then like I don't know, these things resonated with his fucking dumbass head.
You think maybe like Trump basically saying like it's okay to be racist awakened something in him?
I think
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it awakened things in like, a lot of people, unfortunately. But he was definitely one of them. And like, yeah, it's almost, I wonder, if that's kind of what caused him to be more vocal on social media, or if it was, it had to have been born from that. He must have, saw it was okay to like start sharing these opinions or whatever.
No, well, he was probably stewing up until Trump started running for president. And then he was emboldened by his like horrible rhetoric. And he was like, oh, I have a platform now. All of these thoughts that I've been harboring for the last however many years, I'm allowed to say them now for whatever reason.
I can finally make use of this thing called social media.
Right.
Before we go on to this next track, I just want to point one very funny passage out in the social media use section. In May 2020, Brown threatened legal action against multiple Change.org petitions to keep the band's music off of the upcoming Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 re-release, even though the band's music never appeared on the originals nor was announced for the remaster.
That's very good.
Just in case. Please don't.
We are preemptively saying Trapt may not be in the skateboard game. To which Chris Taylor Brown was like, you can't tell me I can't be in the skateboard game.
I can be in it if I want to. I want to want what I want.
Just in case
I want the skateboard game.
There's one sneaky developer out there who writes in a code. He's like, I'm going to write in a Trapt code. And he writes in a code to play Traps. I want what I want, but I want you to want me, but wants me. And whatever the name of the song is.
And instead of being able to play as Trapt, it just erases the entire computer.
Yeah, as it should. As it absolutely should.
It's like that GIF file of that guy who like takes my computer and puts it in the recycle bin and then it's just gone.
Like from existence. Yes. The hardware and everything.
Here's track number 4, titled Too Little, Too Late.
We were the definition of insanity. What else can I say? But too little, too late. Too little, too late. Too little, too late. You had it all.
Too little, too late. Too little, too late. Too little, too late. You had it all, but you took too long to change.
You.
This guy, you.
You did it.
Angry finger wagging. He sounds fun.
You. This sucks. This song sucks. I hated that chorus was just stupid. He really thought it was cool, didn't he?
He totally did.
Just like, no, you.
Look, I can do vocal work.
Yeah, his vocal delivery kind of and this song especially kind of strikes me as someone like who really, really likes Tool, but makes no effort to really try to, or like more specifically Maynard James Keenan, but makes no effort to really like, try to like actually write anything interesting beyond like just imitating the voice is enough.
This is literally a Hoobastank song because it's a Hoobastank song with the same exact title and kind of the same hook too. It's a different feel, but like it's pretty much the same fucking song.
Man, I wish we had that clip.
Oh man,
I might have to sneak it in.
But it's too little, too late. You're too late.
I think it's just different enough, but like,
can you sneak that in post?
Oh sure.
Yeah. You hear that, Doug Robb of Hoobastank? Come on the podcast and review Love Beach with us, and we can suss this whole thing out.
Hoobastank, as they're called on their first EP. They just don't make basketball shorts what they used to anymore.
That's not real.
That's what it's. Yeah, it is real. I saw it.
It is real. It is incredibly weird, but it's real.
Oh,
Like that before they turned into a new metal band and then into like, you know, a train band.
do you want to hear a funny story?
Go for it.
When Crawling in the Dark came out, Patrick loved that song.
Oh yeah, no, I had the first CD. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know we both went through terrible new metal phases. I'm sure I really liked that song too.
I probably did too, but I just
did
wanted to call Patrick out.
I actually did. Gene and I did like a re-listen to that album recently.
Was it still fun?
What's the verdict?
Crawling in the Dark still slaps, but everything else we was like slowly like we were like, yeah. They were like, oh god, no, this is dumb. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
I remember kind of liking the song Running Away at one point.
Yeah, that was what the one we were like, yeah, this is terrible, and then like
I don't
it
know
kept
that
going
song.
on. It was like
Yeah,
track
it's
3.
not-
It was like a
it's not
kind of
one of their-
shuffly ballad.
Not one of their better known singles. It wasn't like the same level of success as Crawling in the Dark. I think it was only a hit on like WAAF kind of radio stations. So here's track number 5. And if you pay really close attention, you may, I mean, like, you know, this album has been taking a turn over and over again. But like,
Of course.
if you really like pay attention, you may notice that the album really takes a bit of a turn with this song. Here's track number 5, Far Enough Away.
I see you everywhere. I can't get far enough away from you. I can't get far enough away from you. The secrets we have shared.
It's country time.
Yeah.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Also-
three doors down time.
Did
Oh,
I
this
hear
is-
a little bit of auto-tune in there?
Oh, yeah, it's all over this album. Big time.
Okay.
I wasn't even paying attention to that.
I mean, that's a a hallmark of modern production anyway. But oh yeah, no, it's artifacty all over.
Hang on. I need to play the clip again to be sure. Just indulge
Okay.
me.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
rough.
like, it's subtle at first, but as soon as it gets to the you, it's like right the fuck there.
I thought I heard it in the last track, but then I was just like, meh.
I
No,
mean,
it's
yeah,
all,
like,
it's all over. I've been hearing it all over.
oh, I believe you, Pat. I believe that, Pat, for sure. Like, if we heard it here, then it stands to reason that, like, it's bound to be everywhere else on the album as well.
It's not just going to be on one track.
Oh, no way. Chris Taylor Brown needs that.
Like,
Chris
I know-
Taylor Brown, who I'm looking at the Genius article, there's a picture, there's like a still of the music video for this song, and he straight up looks like default number 1 in any
to see what this dude looks like.
in any character creation portion of a video game.
I need to
He's
see
deep-
what he looks like.
He's default male number 1.
He looks like Dave. I don't know, just
Like
Fucking Dave.
fuck you, Dave. I hate you.
Oh my God, this dude could be anybody.
He could be anybody.
see what I mean?
Dave, come on the show sometime and review the Love Beach.
He
Yeah,
looks
he-
like a Steven.
I see you everywhere. I can't get far enough away from you. I can't get far enough away from you. The secrets we have shared. I can't get far enough away from you. I can't get far enough away from you.
This would have been a huge hit in like, I don't know, like Weymouth in 2006. Sure.
Oh, I totally hear this at Pat Gannon's house.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, like
Exactly.
like what you said, this really just stinks unrepentantly of like Three Doors Down. And like in 2021, is that really like the direction you want to be focusing on?
This
Right.
record is so dated.
Yeah.
So dated. If it weren't for kind of almost the production, I would never have believed that this came out last year.
Like if you remove this, I feel like if you remove this record from like, you know, try as you can to remove this record from like the context of Chris Taylor Brown making a total ass of himself on social media, then like without that sort of context, then what do you have? Just something completely devoid of identity beyond, you know, outside of the decade that it wasn't even recorded in.
What you have is like, I mean, like basically the target audience is, you know, they're still trying to live in the 2000s. They're still trying to live in this, like,
for sure.
you know, like Family Guy is the height of fucking humor, and like, you know, and like we're still kind of homophobic and fucking
pre-PC culture,
bigoted and shitty.
Family Guy and the first 3 seasons of South Park.
Exactly.
You know that sweet spot right after 9/11 where it was cool to be racist?
Oh yeah, of course. And it's really catering to that time period, and yeah, what you get is just like a rock band trying to capture that essence, but also like Amy brought up, there's just a little tiny hint of like way too much fucking high end that you get from like modern club production, just like a little too much triggering on the drums, just to like really tie it all together into the fact that you're maybe in 2021, but it's still 2007. Don't worry.
But that juxtaposition makes it even worse.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't get better. Like here's track number 6 titled "Turn Me Around Again."
Don't you let me drive too far away, yeah. Don't you let me drive too far. Turn me around again. Come after me, pull me back in, make me change my mind.
This I assume is Trapt being like, sentimental.
Sentimental with
Could they pick up the pace? Like this entire record is like mid-tempo.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. That they refuse to like get out of this one groove, and that's just laziness. It's just lazy writing. That's them like, oh yeah, this is where we sound best.
That's a good point, because like even when they were at their dumb shit peak with Headstrong and like Still Frame and all those other nothing singles that still got played endlessly on WAAF, like those were different tempos. Those had different.
Really. They're everything's 85.
I mean, different enough. I had this on in the car with my partner, and he said, if we put this on, if we had company or we were just sitting around having drinks, I would be hard pressed to differentiate the fact that the song had even changed.
It's funny you mention that. I ended up listening to this album, I want to say about like 6 times in total, trying to come up with things to say. And every single time, like clockwork, I did not realize the album had ended until after the final track. That's how much it like just all sort of blended together into one sort of indiscernible mush.
Yep. Track 1 starts again and you're like, oh, this is the harder track. Oh, the record started over.
Wait, is this the harder track? Was that last one the harder track? Well, this can't possibly be the harder track.
I so desperately wanted there to be another silly anthem like Headstrong.
That's all we needed.
I wanted it.
But we can't recapture those days anymore. He's moved on.
Those days are gone.
He wants what he wants.
He wants to want what he wants. And what he wants is post 9/11 America, when it was okay to be suspicious of your neighbors.
Post 9/11, pre-Obama America, I guess. That's
no, I would say pre-camera phone America.
That's safe. That's a safe assumption. Yeah. So pre-dubstep America.
Post 9/11, pre-Skrillex.
Proto dubstep. So, but before we like get into the next track, I just want to touch once again on the whole sort of like just out of nowhere sort of countrified sound sort of thing, because like that really to me feels very indicative, like whether intentional or not, of like a band that's trying as hard as they possibly can to like be relevant. And like it's obviously not working, but the fact that they feel like, well, if we make a country song, then we can, fucking Aaron Lewis it, like make that Aaron Lewis jump and find crossover appeal.
Oh yeah,
I think they finally realized their demographic.
100%, 100%. The lines between these genres are just becoming, and like we start first with 3 Doors Down. We see it on this album. I heard it for whatever reason, I was subjected to WAAF recently, and I heard a new Godsmack song, and it's fucking like
Wait, I thought WAAF was off the air.
I thought both of those things were done.
I'm sorry. Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. It was was it HJY the station? So
but
yeah,
Godsmack is still making music.
Godsmack is still making music. They put out like 2018. Silly Boy's still churning out the hits, and like it was like country-ish. They're
just doing the best they ever did.
They're doing the best that they can.
Go away.
You better fucking go away.
I tried to, but I was the guy who gave me a ride home. The nice Uber driver had that station on, so I had to listen to it. I couldn't go away. But yeah, it was countrified as shit. So I mean, this is, we're going to see this across the board. The sort of lines between these like I guess like forcibly white genres, just like.
And to be clear, this is like the modern iteration of country. This is not to disparage like the late
like John Prine or Dolly Parton or anything like that. Oh boy, I'm sure it's not going to end with like Stained and Trapt and Godsmack either. Like, I have a feeling we're going to see like, you know, the likes of fucking Saliva or Theory of a Dead Man just slowly slithering into like playing at country festivals and stuff like that.
Oh man, I forgot about Theory of a Dead Man.
Nickelback's been doing it. I mean, fucking Saliva, I could see that happening pretty easily.
Nickelback can't do it. They're Canadian.
Oh, that's bad. I mean, they've had a cowboy hat, you know, since the first album. So
cowboy hats and hockey jerseys.
That's right.
Here's track number 7, titled "Trying Too Hard." The fact that Aimee laughed as I played that clip made me just realize just how apt that title is more than ever.
I hadn't really, it just dawned on me.
And like, this is, you know, just sort of peeking behind the scenes, but I just noticed when I was writing the clip, when I was recording the clips, I accidentally misspelled trying too hard. So it says trying T-O hard.
It should have been
which is also apt. They're trying to hard.
Or they're trying to hard.
They're trying so hard to hard. They want to hard. And it's not working.
And that summarizes the album.
Guys, what if instead of one hard, we try 2 hards? Then it'll be like double hard. Double stuffed.
Guys, what about 3 hard? Let's not go crazy.
No, I heard if you tried 3 hard, you die.
Some kid died off of 3 hard.
I knew a kid who tried to 3 hard, and now he's in the hospital.
3 hard, I'll take you hard.
He has to drink his Go-Gurt from a tube.
You idiot, Go-Gurt comes in a tube.
But I mean like a bad tube.
Like a really tiny hospital tube. You gotta ask the nurse to clean it out every couple of days because it gets crusty.
The chorus goes, trying too hard, you're trying too hard to earn my love, playing yourself, pushing me away, trying too hard to earn what was already in your arms, trying too hard. Yeah, you're trying too hard.
That's another like You song.
Yeah, but like the fucking gall of Chris Taylor Brown, like, I mean, whatever could be said about him, he certainly has a very, very high opinion of himself. Enough that he's willing to fucking get all creepy and gaslighty to this hypothetical person that he's singing to that apparently is trying too hard.
Yeah, I think it's all projection.
I think Amy's right, because this dude is trying too hard to make people love him by churning out like the most vanilla, formulaic, like pop grunge, like post-grunge garbage ever. Like just like the bare minimum to like to get on the Octane Pandora station.
I mean, wouldn't that mean that he didn't try hard enough?
He's never going to admit that.
That's the name of the game.
Oh boy. I know I mentioned like 9th grade level poetry, but like this one is like fucking rife with it. Here's a verse. Where's your innocence? Has it been lost? Can't fit in where you don't belong, and you'll never fit me inside of your box.
Whoa!
I remember that one.
Wait, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
I was just going to say, like,
That was all I wanted to say.
No, it's ridiculously ninth grade level shit right there. Yeah, that's all I was going to say.
I think he really did write this in 9th grade because I'm assuming this man is at least into his 40s at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Because Headstrong came out 20 years ago. So it sounds like he's upset with this person because he found out that they're not a virgin.
That certainly makes it much more. That certainly makes it much more gross.
I mean, it could. I mean, maybe it is gross. Maybe it's not a song that he wrote.
Then again, this guy joked willfully about sexual assault.
Right. He wanted to high five that 15-year-old kid that was statutory raped by his teacher.
So like,
that's fun.
He made a point in this song. I didn't hear it. So what made you think that? Was there something about him like you're not pure like you said you were? Or something
well, he
like
says,
that?
"Where is your innocence? Right? Is it gone?" And then he said, "You'll never fit me inside your box." It's not subtle or poetic. That seems pretty much on the table for me. I mean, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm interpreting.
You said that, not us.
Isn't that what he said?
No, I heard it. I'm leaving it in, goddammit.
You're right. He said it, not even you.
I didn't. It wasn't me.
Oh, man.
I'm just repeating and interpreting wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Listen, we're not taking credit for what the person's saying on the album anymore.
You're just delivering the message. You're Joan of Arc for a very stupid god.
Oh, that's less cool.
Stupid gods need the most attention, okay?
It's like deliver my message. Do I gotta?
Yeah. Listen, okay.
All right.
You have to. Just do it, okay?
I didn't quote that incorrectly, though, right? That's what.
Yes, and you'll never fit me inside of your box. I didn't say the next line after that. You're too controlling to ever get what you want. I don't know if that also fits into this incredibly family-friendly painting that we're picturing. Painting that we're picturing.
I mean, at this point, he can throw whatever line in there. It doesn't matter. None of these songs matter. None of this matters. This is a terrible album.
Oh, boy. Here's track number 8. This one titled, Let Me Down Slowly.
Let me down, let me down, let me down slow. Stick around, draw it out, till there's nowhere else to go. Pushing me along the string, and if you're finally breaking free, let me down slowly.
This is their Stained song, I guess.
Yeah, I took issue with this song.
Oh, yeah?
Good.
I mean, maybe I'm misinterpreting again, but it sounded like I know that you want to break up with me, but can you please just hang around until you can't anymore?
Oh, for sure. That's what this is about.
Oh, yeah. And I think like
once again, he's pushing all the, the glut of the emotional onus onto this other person.
And I think like with a better band and like a more lead singer that I identified with more of that sentiment and like with better lyrics and a better song, that sentiment could be cute, maybe.
I don't
this
know.
was
But
Phil Collins or something. I don't know, but no.
If it was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, if it was like an old song, it was just like, yeah, I could picture that being like, like if you go to let me go softly. I don't know, some shit. I just made up a song.
I mean, I'm sure it's debatable whether that would still be cute. I'm not really sure myself, but it's definitely not cute here because like this, like so many other songs, he's basically just showing everyone his emotional abuse ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem too. Part of the I don't particularly like this guy anyway, so
here's track number 9 where I need him to be too far away.
Can't hear you now. Can't hear you screaming anymore. You won't hear me out. Yeah, nothing gets through. I think we're too far away.
This song was for sure written like in the absolute dead center heat of like all of his social media trauma. The trauma that he was like inducing upon the world. I mean,
Yes.
okay.
I understood fully.
I mean, look at these lyrics. It's a war of words, and we're digging in, miles away from seeing eye to eye. We never look at the common ground. Miles away, we never compromised. I don't listen well, but you don't listen any better. We both have to yell louder and louder right over each other.
I guess.
Really?
Jimmy.
These are my
Taylor
favorite
Brown.
lyrics.
Sometimes
this-
I make a big sound with my face, but you also make the big sound with your face, so it's like you're also a mean.
I make a big loud noise, but then you make a big loud noise too, and I get scared.
This was the closest he came to accepting responsibility for anything.
And he still just like, doesn't really do that because he's just like, oh, you fucked up too.
Well, that's just it. Like, he won't like take any accountability for anything because the other party is just as bad. That's like his whole outlook on things is, oh, both sides bad. Both sides bad. I'm bad, but you bad too. At the end of that conversation, wipe my hands. That's all I have to do. And like, cool, awesome, great conversation. Fuck you.
I'll just end my thoughts on this by saying this one is probably best paired up with Far Enough Away.
Too far away.
Too far away, far enough away.
What? Go. Oh,
Oh,
No.
no. That's too far.
that's too far
Yeah,
away. Okay.
That's too far away.
No, you're far enough away now.
Go long.
Go.
Far enough away. Where'd you go?
No, you're
behind-
too far away.
You're behind me? Oh, turn me around again.
Oh, now you're far enough away.
Where'd you go, buddy? Where'd you go? Come on. Come here, buddy. Where'd you go?
Where'd you go, Bozier? Where'd you go, Bozier?
Are you sleeping up on that top shelf again? Huh?
You tall baby. You tall boy.
Oh, baby. Yeah, it was really cute when Wes Scantlin slept on my top linen shelf the other day. I haven't talked about them in a while. Sorry.
I can't live in this era anymore. I can't live in the early 2000s anymore.
Oh, no.
I can't do it.
We need to
we've
move
been
on from
trudging.
the early aughts.
I can't do it. I'm done.
We collectively, as a species, cannot, extend our reach to the stars above
trudging a
until we
lot.
move out of the aughts.
No, I don't want to.
The stars do not, we don't deserve to reach to the stars, clearly.
I mean, it's no coincidence. I think that one of the worst times for music was also one of the hardest times of my life, being like late middle school to early high school.
You know
It
what?
makes 100% sense for like all
You know
three
what?
of us.
Fair point. When you're right, you're right.
When you hard, you hard.
I hard. A big hard.
Yard.
Sometimes you hard when you try to hard.
Sometimes
you
you don't hard.
Sometimes you try too hard to try to hard.
And then no hard.
I try too soft.
No hard and then bad and then Chris Taylor Brown I make us sad. Here's track number 10 titled Get You Back.
If there's a way to fix it, tell me how did I get you back? In one piece,
No, you didn't. You really truly didn't.
Are we still listening to an album?
Yeah.
Only just.
Yeah. Are we listening to an album or like watching a scene from a film adaptation of a fucking Nicholas Sparks movie?
This is just dithering right now. This is like what they put at like, whatever dithering does. it's just like, randomized noise. I don't know.
No, it's very organized noise.
No, I know. You're right.
It's like it seems intentional to be inaudible.
Furniture music.
Yeah.
This, I assume, is another attempt for Chris Taylor Brown to be sentimental and like, all lovey-dovey and stuff. But after so many fucking gaslighty anthems where it's like, so your fault, dude. No.
Yeah. Can I get you back?
And that's like classic emotional abuse sort of thing. Like, so your fault. I love you.
Don't go.
Let me down slowly.
Don't go, I'll have a sound. What didn't kill you didn't leave you strong enough to bring to life what had become so numb. Even if the wars we fight cannot be won, there will be no surrender because I fight for us. No, you don't.
No, he is. He's fighting for us.
Aimee is flipping Chris Taylor Brown off. You can't see it, but that's what she's doing.
I feel like I'm in a relationship with this dude now.
And she is in the right to do so, I would say.
I forget that this is not a visual medium. I'm sorry. I wish that my middle fingers made noise.
He's a Proud Boy super soldier, okay? He's rooting for us.
Yeah, it's like we're really giving this a lot more sort of, intense looking over and really just reinterpretation than this album deserves. But like the more we do so, the more insidious like this album really seems. Like so much like, at best it's just a dumb generic post-grunge butt album, and now it's just become so much more worse as we've been talking about it.
When I was listening to this, and I said this to Patrick before we started, is that it was so boring, and it is a very boring record, and I honestly was worried about how we were going to get through this episode being able to say anything about any of these tracks. But the more you talk about it, the more
it just you just uncover so much more bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's track number 11, titled Hold and Be Held.
It's getting harder to know where I've been, rushing and burning before I begin. I don't want it withheld. I want to hold and be held.
On an album of entirely unmemorable songs, I completely forgot about this one.
Here's another one.
Yep.
Gross.
It's probably why it's the second to last track.
Is this like an effort to be earnest and have a soft side?
If it is, it's working just about as well as the other times that he did.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a particularly, though, thick effort to try to be earnest. And it's gross. I don't want to think about holding this guy. Certainly not with that, that vocal tone that he's got going on, that just auto-tuned, heavily Chris Lord algae compressed vocal. But I don't have time for this, okay? Like COVID, okay? Like I don't want to touch you. I don't want to be in the same state as you, okay? Never mind holding you.
Definitely not even in the same state of mind.
Looking for answers by going within. It's getting harder to know where I've been. Crashing and burning before I begin. I don't want it withheld. I want to hold and be held.
I don't want it withheld?
Like that whole...
That's not grammatically correct.
I don't want it withheld.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, that whole stanza pretty much just is provably bullshit right from the first line, looking for answers by going within.
No, you
Like,
haven't.
If he ever looked within himself, then he wouldn't be doing, shit like fucking.
This record wouldn't exist.
Yeah, this record wouldn't exist, and he wouldn't have gone on a fucking social media tear saying things like institutional racism doesn't exist.
So
He'd
you're
be a
the
little
one
more. He'd be a little more fucking humble.
I think it was
Just
you
a bit.
that brought up in our Slack chat that the concept of quote unquote shadow work is a Jungian idea, a form of like psychological self healing. It's like it's like suspend judgment on oneself.
Yeah. You guys want to just uncontrollably roll your eyes for a second?
Yes, please.
Shadow work as a concept, I guess, is not something that they just stumbled onto by accident. By like, oh, it just sounds dark. Like Pat just said, shadow work is a Jungian concept. It means to suspend judgment on yourself. I'm quoting this website right here. Shadow work is a practice of healing and self-growth, which means that it requires surrender and acceptance. Instead of attacking everything that you don't want to think, feel, or address, go into this process with an attitude of compassion for yourself and your experiences.
I think maybe he employed that a bit too heavily.
And at the same time, just, not nearly enough.
I mean, he has a lot of compassion for himself.
Oh, yeah.
I will give him that.
He's also a doofus.
Plenty of compassion, but like no surrender and acceptance whatsoever. Not even the slightest.
You don't understand. We're the ones who are supposed to employ the shadow work on our lives, because that's why we're getting all haterade up on his Twitter, because we just don't know how to separate ourselves from our SJW, ideas.
Yeah, we're the ones who are the unwashed pleb smooth brains while he's playing four-dimensional chess. Because he read a thing on Daily Wire.
Yep.
Shapiro said owned libs, and his brain is now very large, and he sits upon like a throne. Cuck.
He read that and just went like, that nerd makes a point. Maybe I won't throw him in a locker.
And I will.
And then Caitlin Bennett pooped her pants.
Now we're finally on the last track. Track number 12, Save Your Soul.
Will save your soul when it comes to the flowers now. Will save your soul to those lies that you told, boy. Will save your soul.
This was that surprise I was talking about.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I certainly was surprised the first time I listened to it. I certainly wasn't expecting them to pull that Jewel cover out of nowhere.
He even tries to emulate her voice, which is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, because the auto-tune is still there.
No, that's just auto-tune
right,
artifact. It makes everybody's voice sound slightly yodely. So, yeah, this was like the Gary Jules light version of
yeah, this is the
Save Your Soul.
This is the opening music in the trailer for
Westworld
Apocalypse 2.
Oh, there we go.
Apocalypse later.
You say it. You're saying that. Who will save? You say that we're actually all robots. Boom. Imagine.
How can you save civilization? Who will save when you can't even save yourself?
Your soul.
Big drop.
I honestly
then I had to turn the volume down.
I like that Jewel song.
Yeah, it's a good song, and it's just trash
Nothing
here.
wrong with Jewel. Yeah, we're not shitting on Jewel tonight.
No, absolutely not. Jewel is perfectly good.
No, Trapt did that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Trapt is bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's the conclusion.
Yeah.
Now, if they covered Intuition, maybe we would have some, fire for Jewel as well. But no, this is a perfectly good Jewel song.
Forgot about that. I forgot the dance reinvention.
Yeah, they all had to go through that. Dance school.
I didn't. I only cut like a very short clip out of that, but I'm incredibly disappointed now reading the lyrics that I didn't cut the part that I didn't include an excerpt of the part where he goes, "So get out on the street, girls, and bust your butts."
I missed that. Wait, what?
That's a lyric from the song. You know what? I bet he just straight up didn't do it.
I don't remember that line. Is it in the original?
Now that I'm thinking of it, it might not be. I'm just
wait. Now I'm thinking
real quick.
I'm just thinking this is like a mashup with Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves by Aretha Franklin. That song fucking rules.
I love that song. They played it at work.
That's a legit line from the original "Who Will Save Your Soul." Save your soul.
Okay,
no way.
That's okay. It's okay if Jewel said it.
Oh yeah, no, girls can say that stuff.
Yeah, when she says it, there's like a feeling of empowerment.
Yeah,
but
if a man ever said that to me, I'd have something to say.
I mean, especially considering all the rest of the album up to this point. It just sounds so much worse.
Also, to close your record on a cover, come on.
It's lame.
Yeah.
It's so lame.
Pretty lame. But also, what is he trying to say with this? Is there some sort of quasi apocalyptic, pseudo religious right message that he's trying to say right here? Who's going to save your soul? Level of SJW-ness or the angel of Super Trump, Papa John's, My Pillow, butt cheeks, man.
Super Trump, different from Super Tramp.
Yeah, definitely not Super Tramp. They're straight up liberals, of course.
My Pillow, butt cheeks, man.
Well, there's an element of social service in this song.
Oh, is there?
No, in the lyrics, she's trying to bring awareness to people who are struggling and the homeless, and it does not fit in.
No, not at all.
With anything that this dude has said so far.
Yeah, for a woman who wrote this song when she was homeless in rural Alaska, versus this dude who's probably been living a pretty comfortable life off of his headstrong money, his headstrong bucks out in Los Gatos, California, and he's probably been regularly touring and putting out albums and selling 600 copies here and there and doing just enough. I don't know.
Well, Gatos is a suburb. It's
it's a suburb of San Francisco. Yeah, it's not a bad place. It's an okay place. I mean, it says in the history section, the band's first few rehearsals were in guitarist Simon Ormandy's guest house, which had a party-like atmosphere with its loft overlooking the living room.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
How unique.
Guest
what
houses.
A unique floor plan. Hey, I just realized something. Headstrong is kind of a good song. When compared with this record.
Okay, well, now we're okay. Sure, if you're gonna.
Well, sure, if you want to split those hairs.
I was listening to this whole thing, wishing for just a re-recording of Headstrong.
Yeah, that would have been way more fun, right? No, we don't get that anymore. We don't. No, they've moved on from they've moved on from stupid fun new metal. That's kind of where I was at when I was listening to the Vanilla Ice discography, and you get to the new metal years. My favorite parts were the moments that it was just I was Monster Energy drink fart 11-year-olds bouncing around in their bedroom, at 11 o'clock at night before dad comes in and says, "Hey, go to bed.
No monkey business.
No monkey business." And they're just yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Messing
the
around.
difference, and I hate to make a point in Vanilla Ice's favor, is that he very clearly, was just trying on a bunch of different hats and trying to see what sticks. And Trapt, I can only assume, did no such thing.
No.
Because this album, like what should be some of their newest and most, advanced material, just sounds like worse Trapt.
It was one hat, and that hat was sponsored by an energy drink and had a flat bill.
Should we get to our final thoughts, or have we pretty much said all there is to be said about this album?
I think that's what we've been doing.
I think this nut has been cracked as best as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask what your favorite track is, because I know that none of us have a favorite track. So what would you say is the worst track on this record, if you can even remember the names of the tracks?
I can't.
I literally can't. I have to look them up right now. Hold on.
Probably Tell Me How You Feel.
Yeah, that one was pretty
That's
wretched.
one, right? Okay.
I think my least favorite was, one second. I don't know. I think it was Get You Back, because I don't remember anything about it, but everything sucked. I feel like there must have been something. Oh no, it was the one where he had that really obnoxious hook. What was it?
You're going to have to be more specific than that.
I'm going to edit this out. Hold on.
I thought I wouldn't have a pick, but thinking about it now, I think my pick for worst is Let Me Down Slowly.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the sheer gall after so much oh, you're the problem. Please be gentle.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Don't hurt my fifis.
I think my least favorite was Too Little, Too Late, because it was just so derivative and that vocal hook was just stupid and annoying and so. Yeah, just so mid 2000s high school suburban new metal band, and just what are you guys doing?
Suburban new metal band who thinks they know suffering.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we were all there. I mean, we were all there, but
because mom disconnected the internet after 10 o'clock.
We all went to 7th grade.
We all went to 7th grade and we graduated. And I guess we're not picking favorite songs because I didn't like really any of them. I guess if I was going to pick one, I Want What I Want to Want, because that's just, I don't
really know. I would, gun to my head, I would pick the first track just because it kind of was harder. Yeah.
They tried to make it a song worth listening to, kind of, not really. They weren't expecting you to go past track 2.
The first thing I did when I looked up this record on Spotify was to check the runtime. And if it was anything over 50 minutes, I was going to say, I'm not listening to this.
They don't do that anymore. Don't worry. With acts like this, they're going back to classic album length of 50 or under. Thankfully,
this needs to fit into me driving to an errand and driving home, and that's it.
No, it sucks when we have to do a record from the between the 90s and early 2000s or something. It's 70 minutes long or something.
Or one of those aughts era albums where just the real peak of we have to fit as many songs onto this record as humanly possible.
Yeah, CD length, could fit up to 80 minutes.
Life's too short.
I guess if I had to, gun to my head, pick a favorite, I think I'm going to go with Save Your Soul, because Chris Taylor Brown didn't write it.
Because I know this one.
I was oh, yeah, not a bad melody. It was written by, it was by girls. Throws up the whole mixing board. Chris, that cost $25,000, dude.
Let me down slowly.
Yeah, so we're not even.
I'm sorry, I broke the mixing board.
We're not even going to bother to ask if this is the worst album of all time, because it's not.
It's
it's
not.
I would say it barely qualifies as an album.
Yes, it is offensively nothing.
Yeah. It's not a question worth
That's very
asking.
good.
But it also only sold 600 copies, which is very funny.
yes.
I felt like I was existing in like the middle world when I listened to this record.
Yeah, if nothing else, we should take away how incredibly delightful it is that this only sold 600 copies in its first week.
It was like having a bad dream about like a shitty period of
Trapt.
your life.
That's like a high school band who has a lot of friends. They sold 600 copies.
Yeah, you might be able to get like the top bill at the Worcester Palladium.
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, you might get the plum spot to open for Flaw. Oh man, thank you so much for being on this episode, Aimee. This was as fun as always.
Yes, thank you.
Always
I love
a
this
hoot,
show.
Nanny. Thank you, Aimee.
Thanks, guys.
Love to see
You
you.
have some incredibly awful albums attached to your name now.
Oh God,
Like
I'm just
Trapt, Paris Hilton, Kevin Federline.
I am just thankful that you didn't ask me to do another socialite record.
So here's the thing: is this guy count as a socialite now that he's like a social media?
No, because he was a quote unquote musician first.
Okay, right.
He wasn't famous for just being until he made the record.
Yeah,
so.
Daddy Taylor Brown didn't own like a hotel franchise, as far as we know.
Yeah, and now like there's no way he can be just social media famous because he can't fucking be on social media anymore.
He's so famous he got banned.
He lost his
Parlor.
privileges.
Shut the fuck up. Do you have anything you want to plug, Aimee?
No. No, I feel
All
like
right.
I have the same outro every time. You guys should know by now to be nice to each other.
I gotta
All right,
get you
has
on
been
another
answered.
show or like make a show with you. We've been meaning to talk about that for a while, but
Yeah, I really
rad.
want to work on something.
yeah, you need to be more involved here, though.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug anything, Pat?
Yeah, I'll plug the Agitation Trips, the new single that's coming out on May 1st, which is the like sort of New England and Beyond artist collective that we've kind of put together. Christopher Brown, not Chris Taylor Brown, but the good Christopher Garrett Brown, kind of like kicked off, but then like we all kind of became involved, Lilz and I, in some fashion. But anyway, I was the quote unquote song czar for this month. So, I helped put together a demo and then like also mix this track with the help of and contributions of a bunch of other musicians around town. But that's coming out on May 1st.
Including previous guests, Clinton Deegan and Abram Tabor.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. They are very involved with this one. And yeah, some other familiar who's and what's and how's, and the proceeds will be going to charity. I haven't nailed down exactly which one yet, but as usual, all proceeds for that will be going to some sort of charity. Also just check out the new Patrick S. Barry album that came out like last December. It's on Spotify, Bandcamp. I'm almost at the point where I don't feel like promoting it anymore because I'm ready to like write some new music. But anyway, yeah, that's about it.
I guess I'll plug. I've actually got an EP of music from my producer moniker Sawtooth coming out for the next Bandcamp Friday, which will be Friday 7th. Hopefully this episode will be out sometime before then, but check that out. It's a 4-track EP. It's a 4-track EP of songs that I've been waiting far too long for a full album's worth of material, and just decided with some push from John Green, like, okay, just put it out.
Nice.
Oh, yeah,
Like
that's
that-
right. You and JG are doing some shit.
Yeah, it's got our
Cool.
good friend John Green on a track, who we really should have on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, we need to get him on sometime. Yeah.
And my friend Juliet Brownell Lee also sings on a track, and it's a real good time.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. And also check out the other Zero Science podcasts, Old Man Yell at Cloud, Clamshell Case Files, Hell is a Musical, and the rest.
And the rest.
The rest.
What the hell is this and the rest shit?
Nice.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by the band Froggy and the Friendship. You can check them out at froggyandthefriendship.bandcamp.com. If you have an album you'd like to suggest for us to review or would just like to leave us some feedback or a comment, email us at jukeboxzeroespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/jukeboxzeroespodcast or on Twitter at twitter.com/jukeboxzeroes. You can find us, rate us, review us, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, or check out our archives on the Zero Science main page. Jukebox Zeroes is a production of the Zero Science Network. For more great podcasts, go check out zero-science.com. And that about does it for this episode of Jukebox Zeroes. I'm Lilz.
I'm Patrick.
And remember,
Zero Science.